TMX Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan and we are wrapping up our beautiful vegetarian week with this gorgeous roasted vegetable salad. Now, I do not do farro, whatever it is, because I actually don't know what it is. So what I presume it is some sort of wheat or rice product. Instead, I actually just use this recipe as a beautiful base of roast veggies. So today I'm going to show you how to make the beautiful tray of veggies and the beautiful feta and lemon dressing, which is amazing. So come with me today and I'll show you my shortcuts and how it's done. So we're going to go start cooking, and the first thing it's going to do is it's actually going to ask us to put some, well, turn the oven on, but then it's going to ask us to put some veggies in a bowl. So it says put a large bowl under the mixing bowl lid and weigh into it veggies. So Brussels sprouts, I thought I'd give the kids a go. They've never tried it before, so I'm excited to see if they'll eat them. So I'm not going to put it into a bowl because I don't like having more washing up. There's enough washing up in our house with four kids, a husband and myself. So 6 mouths to feed. So I'm just going to actually work with what I've got. So Brussels sprouts, in they go. Are you a Brussels sprouts yes or no person? I don't know yet if mine are or aren't, but I guess I'm about to find out. So some carrots cut up into, it was supposed to be spring carrots. So I guess they're the equivalent of our salad carrots here in Australia. Oh no, courgettes, hang on, I've skipped it. Courgettes, drop in a spoon. Courgettes, zucchinis, okay? So I'm gonna use those, in they go. And then we're going to put, and I've just cut them 1 centimeter, and if they're really big ones, they got cut in half as well into a little disc. And then carrots. Yes, here they are. And it says peeled. We don't peel our carrots very often, so they're not peeled, but I've cut them into those wands. So you could do other veggies. You could be doing capsicum. You could do potatoes. Potatoes would be yummy. You could do sweet potatoes. You could do pumpkin. There's so many things you could do. Obviously, pumpkin will get a bit soft, but otherwise, it's totally up to you. So now what it asks you to do in that bowl is toss them in some olive oil, salt and pepper. So my way of doing that is I put them in one space and we just do a bit of this, a bit of Jamie Oliver, coat them, toss them, and it asks for some salt and pepper. And you can be as creative as you want. I'm not very creative. I'm more functional. Let's get this over and done with as quick as possible. It's kind of my motto when it comes to being in the kitchen. So decent amount of oil though, because 45 grams is a fair bit. So this comes out quite slowly, this container. So coat them in the oil, and I've pushed them together so that they kind of all are in a huddle to do so. Then we've got salt and pepper. So that's easily done. Salt, pepper, and this literally goes in the oven now. So that's as simple as the first step goes. I'm just going to use my spatula to give it a bit of a shove back out into space and place. As I said, you could pack this as full as you want, as long as it's single layered in there. And that part of the recipe is done. Like, how easy is that? So your longest time is prepping your veggies, right? Chopping those up. So they are super ready to go. Now we're going to go next. Now it asks you now to put it in the Rockstar Ben. So we've been talking a lot about Betty, and I'd forgotten what the other one, this was last week, it was the warmers particularly. I'd forgotten there was a second one's name, and it was Ben. So Ben is another part of the UK stoneware collection. I'm hopeful that sometime soon we will see the stoneware in Australia. We've got our own version of cast iron stoneware, cast iron cookware coming. So keep an eye out for that. But this does not need a lid. So often last week when we were doing the winter warmers, you saw there was a couple that required a lid to pretty much slow cook them. This one does not require a lid, so it could just be in an oven-safe Pyrex dish, glass dish. Even a cake pan would do the job. I do like using my big pan here. We don't actually have many pans, but it doesn't have to be one on the stove. That's the beautiful thing about it. This is a stove-safe one because I typically use it for frittatas, where I would oven cook off the veggies like this, and then I'd put egg over the top and put it back in the oven. So that's typically what I use this for. But in a case like today, I'm going to put the veggies in it. So, and it's just solitanic. So I know someone will ask, so I'll just say that's where it is. So rosemary, so we need some rosemary over the top of that. If you don't have fresh, dried will do the job. Okay, rosemary and feta are just absolutely made for each other, so do put some of that on there. I've made mention before, grow your own rosemary. Now I didn't make mention, I think last week, that the fact that you can actually take a sprig rip off the bottom leaves, use them in your cooking, put it in some water, and it will actually sprout roots and grow. And once it's got roots, you can go plant it in your garden and it will grow. So rosemary is super easy to actually regrow. Okay, there are ones that are easier to grow and I guess better suited to grow. So some grow really slow and some grow fast. So go find somebody's bush that is like massive, and that's the one you want to get because you know that's going to be a hardy plant. So rosemary next, and then roast them for 30 minutes. All right, so this would be the step where you'd be putting in your rice, your farro to actually cook off, or your pasta, whatever you want to serve it with. We are just skipping through. There's that 200 of grain. Remove the simmering basket. You could do white rice in that. You'll need a bit more water. You need to fill your water up so it covers the grains of rice, but you certainly could do rice in that place there. Let's see how long it cooks, and I'll give you some advice there as well. It cooks for, other way, 25 minutes. So if you're doing white rice, you only need 20 minutes. If you're doing brown rice, you'll need to extend that up to 30 minutes. Looks like the same process though otherwise, so just the more water in there. You do need to make sure it gets boiled, not steamed. Remove the simmering basket, transfer, and now we want to get to the step where we're making a beautiful dressing for this. I need to wipe my screen down. Clean and dry mixing bowl. Here we go. We're actually going to use the mixing bowl. Can you see my fingers not working today? That's normally because something is set on the screen. My family love using my Thermomix. All of my kids, even the 7-year-old, cooks with the Thermomix. So often it is left in a state that requires a good wipe down. And if you don't get fingerprints off, it thinks there's a finger there and it won't respond. So you have to be solid then with the pushing. Doesn't help that I'm also operating behind it, whereas you would be operating in front and you've got a bit more clarity around exactly where those buttons are. You can see it says turn the veggies and cook for a further, what's that say, 15 minutes. See how your veggies are going. It really depends on how big you've made them. Now, here we go. Place our feta cheese. This is where I'm excited for. This is the most beautiful dressing. I don't know if it's really, if you can call it a dressing. I don't know what you call it, but it's like a dressing, but it's a creamy kind of one because it's got the feta. So this isn't, it wouldn't be classified as vegan because it's got the dairy in it, but it is just beautiful. So 60 grams of this. I just use a smooth Danish feta, but you know what? Use what you can get your hands on, whatever's easiest for you. By the way, if you want to make your own feta, I've got that in my cheese course, and obviously I haven't today. Okay, at the moment, milk has not been something we've been able to get here where we are, so I haven't been able to actually make my cheese from my cheese course. Hence the reason I've bought the cheese. So milk is one of those things that seems to be a little bit rare at times. All right, so 60 grams of feta, in it goes. Now next it asks for some lemon juice. Oh, it's asked for some dill. I don't have dill. I do have dried. I'll add that in later. I'll probably sprinkle it over the top off camera. Lemon juice. Sadly, lemons are costing an arm and a leg at the moment here as well. So I've only got the flesh left over from squeezing a lemon in a recipe the other day or week. I can't remember what recipe it was. So I'm actually just going to chuck that in because it will chop down. Okay, so that's my little contribution because I don't want to swap a vinegar in because I do like feta and lemon together. They are just amazing. The zest from a lemon, the zest wasn't going to be up to scratch to put in there. So zesting a lemon, if you do want to zest beforehand, grab your grater, peel some of the bits of lemon, put it in there on speed 10 for a couple of seconds and you'll have zest. Okay, make sure your bowl is dry though because otherwise it sticks to the side and doesn't grate down. Okay, some oil, and now we're going to mix this up. So it's just going to be absolutely beautiful to put over your roast veggies when they come out of the oven. Just so good. It is a fair amount of oil. You can see, you know how I took ages with this? It's because my oil thing goes really slow. So it is 2.5 tablespoons of oil. I may stop shortly. Just because I can't wait any longer. I'd love to know in the chat though, when you're watching along, have you made this recipe before? I'd love to know if you have. Do you like it? Do you have other veggies you chuck into it? Let me know because I love that we can inspire each other and you know, share that knowledge of what works well for maybe our family and stuff. And if you don't do Brussels sprouts, what do you do instead? Tell me. Can't wait to see if the kids eat it. Shh, don't tell them. Actually, they've actually already sussed them out and thought they were little cabbages. So they eat cabbage. So let's see how we go. All right, on with the lid. But I do know Brussels sprouts are something that do divide people. So let's spin this round. We've got 3 seconds on speed 8. Off it goes. You can hear it's done. You could hear that was done pretty quick. Scrape down the sides. They want us to do it again. Insert the measuring cup. Let's just have a look and see. I don't know that I necessarily always do this because I don't care if there's a few chunks of feta left in there. In saying that, I do have a lemon that wasn't juiced today. So let me just scrape it down and I'll do it one more time. Because that lemon, I don't want anyone getting one chunk of lemon. That's not fair. So, and lemon is something in our house that some of my kids will eat like an orange. So they are a commodity here. They quite like them. What I'm going to do this time is last time on speed 5, it stuck to the sides. Did you hear it, how it spun out? This time I'm going to actually go up to about speed 3, maybe 4. It's got 30 seconds. It actually really wants to blend this till smooth. I'm not fussed if it's not smooth, but I also want to get rid of that lemon. So I'm going to go up slowly and see. I don't want to hit that point where it hits the sides and doesn't mix anymore. So let's go round. Oh, what did I say? 3. Now I can hear at that stage it's still happily mixing. It's still mixing, but if I go any further, it'll stop. So let's just have a look. Still moving in there. It's not stuck to the sides. That's what I want. I don't see any point in going further or longer with that. And now it's actually done. So it's ready to transfer with the farro, toss to combine, which we don't obviously, and I just put it on top at the end and stir it through the beautiful roasted veggies. So let me just show you this yummy dressing product at the end. Absolutely beautiful. So easy to make in a Thermomix. And you know what? Pre-clean the Thermomix at the end to make it sparkle at the end. How good is that? So if you haven't found the pre-clean function, one more tip of the day before you go. Let's go finish. Go to your function screen over here, up with our pre-clean. It tells you how to do it. I'm just going to cross out that. And then I actually typically use universal. Takes about 7 minutes. It heats it up. It whizzes it around up and down. Obviously dough is for dough mode. If I've burnt something really well on, like toffee, and it's not moving the blades, fat and caramel is your answer. And browning, that's got a really long cook where it'll actually cook off big burning marks on the bottom of your bowl if you happen to get some as well. So love the pre-clean function because it means my Thermomix is ready to go for the next thing. Pretty much by the time we finish dinner, we sit down and eat and it's on cleaning and done. I just tip out the water, give it a rinse and it's ready to go. So love the cleaning function on the TM6. Well, anyway, that's enough from me. I hope you've enjoyed this vegetarian series this week. If I can support you in any way with a Thermomix, reach out. I'd love to do so. If it's getting one on the bench, I'd love to talk. I love inspiring and transforming kitchens with a Thermomix. Like you can see how easy it makes making dressings. And you know, there's no way I would have done it. If I don't have a Thermomix, you would have found me in the aisle picking up the dressing. I can guarantee it because time poor and attention span of a mouse, I just don't have the time for it. So having a Thermomix gives me that time. And I'd love to transform your home if you find that you're time poor and you don't want to take shortcuts with your food. But otherwise, if you're just needing support with a recipe, converting something, you've got questions about the videos, don't ever hesitate to reach out. I am here and I'm passionate about making sure you keep stepping up more and more with your Thermomix and getting more and more out of it, regardless of which model you've got. So otherwise, take care. Have a fantastic weekend. I can't wait to see you next week for some more videos to inspire you with your Thermomix. But otherwise, thanks for joining me and we'll see you then. Take care. Bye for now.